Hey there gardeners, Chris here from Garden Steading. I'm just going to show you how to make a really easy tree protector that is ideal for protecting against the pests that we have issues with, which is primarily wallabies. Now if you have deer or even big kangaroo, this may not work quite as well, but these for us have been a game changer in protecting our fruit trees and even other plants which those wallabies just absolutely love, especially when it gets dry and the grass dries up and things like that. All we've got here is a big roll of this mesh. This is kind of that hexagonal mesh, and it is a heavier duty mesh. We've generally in the past used a heavy duty square chicken mesh, and I really like the square mesh because it's just a little bit easier to work with. I don't actually know that it's better than this. I think for the very small surrounds, the square mesh works better. And then in my experience just more recently, this stuff actually works well for the really big surrounds. Now, as an important kind of point of note, 30 meters of this stuff is normally maybe 100, 110 bucks, maybe more, maybe less if you can get it on special. Here in Australia at least, obviously it's going to vary around the world. This stuff is fairly expensive. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, 30 meters worth, that's a lot of plant surrounds, which it is. Your old math from school, the 3.14, the pi, is what determines how long a piece you need to get that diameter that you want. So basically a 1 meter wide protector is going to be 3.14 meters long. So a 30 meter roll of this stuff, you only get 10 plant protectors in it. And obviously you can make them smaller, but in my experience, you don't want the plant leaves or the branches or anything like that to be touching this surround. Once it grows up above it, it's less of an issue, and this can just be a trunk protector. However, in the early stages, if the leaves are touching the mesh, it will damage them and it will obviously affect the health of the tree. Not fatally, probably not even a huge issue, but it'll be a factor. So what do we want to do? We want some protectors for our new rosellas, and also I need some larger protectors for other trees in the garden where they're rubbing up against the original protector, they've grown, and we need something bigger. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to make some big ones of this, out of this I should say, and then we'll probably move our smaller protectors across to trees. And so you can very much recycle them. It's not like these are a use once and throw away, but you need to be a little bit strategic about really how you're using them. So all we're going to do is we're going to grab ourselves some side cutters. Pliers, I reckon, would probably do the job because they've got a cutter in them as well. But this is the easiest way of doing it. We're going to roll out the distance we need. We're going to cut it. And what I'm trying to cut for is I want these nice little ends so that I can wind them back around when I join this thing up. Makes it really easy, makes it just a really simple job. You don't need any other tools. Gloves is not a bad idea if you're the type of person who hurts themselves frequently, but this is a pretty easy one. So we've rolled out a fairly generous distance, and we're going to do the same again. We're going to keep the long wrapped up join on the side that we're using, and we're going to cut all the way up, and we're going to cut on exactly the same point of the pattern in a line up. So that way we're getting a nice straight piece. So we've got our custom cut piece now, and what we're going to do, chuck our side cutters away, and we're just gonna flatten this out a little bit. So we've got our piece, we've straightened it a little bit, and all we're going to do is we're going to create a little bit of an overlap, which does waste a little bit of the length of our surround. But the reason we're doing that is because the overlap section creates a rigid and kind of reinforced section, which will keep the shape, which is important because if they just collapse, not so useful. And just the way these are made, they don't kind of line up perfectly, so we're going to have to just get those pieces kind of lined up the way we want. And what we're doing is we're bending see that? We're going to bend it through. And we're going to just twirl it around. And we want the sharp bit on the inside because there's less chance, not no chance, but less chance anyone will hurt themselves that way. Even like that. Go in, through, and then back along an existing piece. We're going to do that from the top all the way down to the bottom. And then once we've done that, we're going to do the inside where we've got to do the same again. And that will give us a doubled over section, which will add the rigidity to our surround, which will ensure that it stands up nice and straight. Now, I mentioned using the square mesh, and the reason I like the square mesh a little bit more is that for some sizes, you can just do a couple of these kind of foldovers of the mesh up the top and the bottom, and it's good to go. And then when you want to take it off the tree, if the tree has grown and you can't kind of just lift it off, you just basically undo the top and the bottom, 10 seconds work, and you're good to go. With this is going to take some time if you wanted to undo it, because we're really kind of twining it back on itself on every join ×2. Is this overkill? Maybe. But the other reason for doing it on this is that it ensures that we don't have as many potentially sharp and dangerous kind of bits. And wearing gloves does help. I'm only going to do a couple of these today, but if you're doing like 10, your hands will be aching by the end of the day. So keep that in mind. So we've done the outside, now we need to do the inside. Same thing again. There we go. One decently large garden surround, or tree surround, or tree protector, whatever you want to call it. Probably not a surround, because that's normally the thing at ground level. And yeah, it's not a metre. It'd be just under, but I reckon we probably used about 4 meters of mesh, so it adds up quickly. Those rolls do not go that far, so you're probably looking at an easy $10 each one of these protectors. And if you need to stake it into the ground, or if you need to put a picket in to hold it in place, because some more aggressive creatures like kangaroos can knock it off your plant to get in there, that's another $10. So it adds up quickly if you're protecting a lot of trees. So, but it's an easy DIY job, and ours have been going really, really well. I will do a video on the possible native wildlife pitfalls of something like this, but that will be a separate video.